Oscars. Foreigner starring Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. Based on the novel The Chinaman. So, of course, decided not to call it Chinaman for many reasons out of discriminatory bullcrap. But, yeah, this film is... There's been some mixed reactions here and there when it comes to this film, but for the most part, it isn't what you would mostly expect from this film. From what I gathered the trailer was trying to give me, it was definitely a darker idea of what you normally would have expected from a Jackie Chan movie. It just comes off more optimistic and happy as opposed to something more pessimistic in nature. In fact, his character comes off very much similar to Liam Neeson's character in Taken, but his motivations and what he does in his actions of his motivations are far more closer to that of Gerard Butler's character in Law Abiding Citizen. However, he's not as crazy as him. He's comes off more like Liam Neeson's character. It's pretty well, like I said, this entire movie, for the most part, is a political thriller in an almost Bourne-like sense, but in that Taken, Law meets Law-Abiding Citizen kind of way of a political type thriller, if you will. Or at least somewhat of a political action thriller, and there are some moments in the film, given how it mostly focuses more on Jackie Chan as being an actual actor as opposed to being the stuntman, the guy who does his own stunts and action choreography type stuff. Which he does here and there, but it's not as up in the forefront as you would think. So don't expect a full-blown action type movie, but I think that if you want something that actually had a little bit more to it than what you would have originally thought, you're going to kind of get something out of it. But you're going to see more of Pierce Brosnan and mostly a lot of the fall of his character from his position of political power. And, how that somehow ties in with what has happened with Jackie Chan's character, which you already seen it from the trailers. And if you haven't, it's already in the beginning, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you. And that's because, he loses his daughter to a bombing by that of the IRA, and that to someone that's called the authentic IRA, and people who were actually of the IRA in Ireland that are actually in some form of political power that are working alongside the Brits. They are... Yes. Brits, which Pierce Brosnan's character is doing, and he basically goes and does Taken meets Law-Abiding Citizen style stuff, though not nearly as graphic and brutal in the same sense as Gerard Butler's character. It's more just kind of similar to what you would normally expect of a Jackie Chan character. It's kind of a revenge story in a sense of similar to a certain Jet Li movie, actually, now that I think about it. But the name of the movie escapes me. Forgive me in that regard, but it's definitely more of that kind of a tone, serious type of tone you would expect more out of Jet Li as opposed to Jackie Chan. Which isn't a bad thing at all. And I think this movie, for what it is, I highly actually recommend this movie to you. I never thought it would, honestly. I was kind of turned off to want to see this movie because of the mixed reactions, but after finally getting a chance to see this movie, I'm like, why? Why did I get turned off? I should have seen this movie when it came out. And I'm sorry you guys never got to see me talk about this. And eventually I'm going to talk, and there are two other movies I would have loved to have seen this year that I may try to see later on, after Thor Ragnarok and probably before Justice League. Maybe we'll see what happens, but I'm going to have to also... It's going to be something. So, definitely, keep things going. Overall, for this film, The Foreigner, I gotta say, it rocks all the way. It's good to finally see Jackie Chan back on the big screen, and in a way that actually works for today's type of standards, even though I am hearing he's supposed to do a Rush Hour 4. But I don't know how that's going to work given where the hell has been Chris Tucker. And, yeah. And plus, fingers crossed we don't get a replacement of him with Kevin Hart, which wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, it's... But anyway. What did you guys think of The Foreigner? Or comment below, let me know. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. I'll see you in the next video, which will more than likely be Thor Ragnarok. unless I come up with some other album to talk about that came out earlier this year, whenever I get it. But for the most part, I'll probably just be doing my music thing with the band I've been doing, which is part of the reason why I haven't been as involved. And for those who've seen my one Weezer Pacific Daydream video, you already know the other reason as to why I haven't been as thorough lately, because I've kind of been dealing with a lot. So, again, forgive me for that. And you know what? Once again, as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking, and I will see you once in the next video. Take care, y'all.